Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. Today we're going to talk about some WrestleMania matches I would like to see added to the WrestleMania Showcase mode. Now we know about 5 matches already, so they got some of them I want. But let's talk about a couple others I would like to see. So first up, I'm a huge Ultimate Warrior fan, so you probably know which one I'm going to go with first. WrestleMania 6, Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. Now this was supposed to be a passing of the torch to the Ultimate Warrior because his character was so over at the time that he basically was going to dethrone Hulk Hogan. He was supposed to be the next big guy, or a big guy just as big as Hogan. But due to his ego and his business sense, being greedy with money, unfortunately, we never got the Ultimate Warrior to be another Hogan level wrestler. I mean, think about it. Ultimate Warrior was so over back then. He could have easily been the guy for the next 10 years if he wanted to be. But unfortunately, we all know how that turned out, and here we are. I'm still a huge fan of the character, of just his look and everything. I really wish things could have been different, but this match was monumental back then. It was the World Heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title, the two biggest titles in the company. I want to say it was one of the first unification matches. Well, not unification, but one of the first title for title matches. The stakes were super high. The match itself wasn't that great, but what it meant and the wrestlers that were in it made it so epic. I really hope that it's in this game. Anyway, and plus, by having it in this game, we'll have the Ultimate Warrior, who has not been confirmed for the game, and will have his best look is in that match. The orange with the face paint, with the paint on his chest. That, I feel, to me, that is the best version of Ultimate Warrior. I don't know why they would ever change it to a different Ultimate Warrior, unless it's the one from WCW. So that is the first match I would like to see added to the Road to WrestleMania mode. Alright, so the next match I would like to see in the WrestleMania Showcase mode for 2K24 is WrestleMania 12's Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart in that Iron Man match where nobody won for that first 60 minutes. They went back and forth. I mean, that's one of the best matches of all time. I haven't seen it in a while. I got to go back and watch it again, but to me, that is what wrestling is all about. That match, if you're in a school right now learning how to wrestle, go watch that match. It'll inspire you. And I like how nobody won. Bret Hart is about to go back, and they restarted the match for whoever gets the first pinfall wins. And Shawn Michaels ended up winning in overtime, and it's one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. So I really hope they add that match to this game. So the next match I would like to see, and we're going to skip quite a few WrestleManias here. We're going to skip all the way to WrestleMania 20. Now, there was a lot of good matches on this card. It had an amazing song they picked for the show. What was it? Step Up by, I think it was Drowning Pool. Yeah, oh man. Wrestling was so hard back then. I miss it. It's kind of PG now. They're starting to get back to that hardcoreness, but not, I mean, they'll never be like the old days during the Attitude Era. Anyway, so there's a couple matches from this show that I would like to see in the Road to WrestleMania mode that also don't include wrestlers that have left the company, because some of these wrestlers in these matches, I've been going through these, they can't use them. Like, we're talking like Jericho versus Triple H. We're talking Big Show versus John Cena when he first won the US title. I mean, there's so many things that you can't use in this mode because they either work for a different promotion or they've just upset WWE, the company in general. Anyway, so the match I'd like to see from this is Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. That match, Eddie, you could put Eddie in with anybody and it's going to be a good match. Eddie is one of the best wrestlers in history. Whether you like him or not, I mean, he had the lie, you cheat, you steal gimmick. That was awesome. They let him beat Brock Lesnar going into WrestleMania 20 just so that Brock could fight Goldberg, which was a terrible match. They're too close and too similar in fighting styles, so you couldn't have a guy where the big guy beats him up. It was like both, and I remember that match. I was so disappointed in how it went. I mean, they had Stone Cold in there. Just the way it was all set up, and then the match itself was just terrible. Like, oh, it was bad. Anyway, so yes, Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. We need that in this mode. That was one of the greatest matches, I think, of both of their careers. Please put that match in this game. I hope it's one of them. All right, next, I want to say from the same WrestleMania, to show the ladies some love, assuming they're both in it again, Victoria. Victoria versus Molly Holly in a hair versus title match. Victoria ended up winning and getting to shave Molly Holly, which she looked fine bald. Some women look okay bald, some not so much. But I felt like this was one of those great matches because it actually elevated it a lot. Because if it was just a title match, you'd be like, it's okay. Because back then, unfortunately, women's wrestling was all about the TNA. There wasn't really any, like it is today, where you actually care about the women's wrestling and they're on the same level, I would say, as the men. But this was one of those matches where it made you want to watch it. Didn't make you want to go take a break or go to the bathroom or whatever. This was a match you wanted to see because they added that extra stipulation. And I think it was a good match. So I hope Victoria is in this game. She has not been confirmed yet. So that would be a great match for the road to WrestleMania mode. Okay, so the final match for this video, because there's so many matches that we could use, I don't want to make the video like 20 hours long. So these are just ones I picked out that they might have rights to or should have rights to, because there's a lot of the wrestlers aren't there anymore and they can't use. So there's a lot of matches I'm like, oh, let's do that one. No, this one, no. So I'm trying to pick ones that they could actually do that I really liked. Anyway, so this last match would have to be WrestleMania 21, where Batista defeated Triple H to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. The build up to that match was freaking phenomenal. Like, they were part of Evolution. They were trying to trick Batista, because he had won the Rumble, into challenging for the other title, because Triple H was scared. Because Batista was the muscle of the group. You had basically the wise man, Ric Flair. You had the current leader, basically the Roman of that generation of Evolution. And then you had the young blood, which was Randy Orton. So Batista was basically the enforcer, which is really funny because in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's basically the same character. He's basically the enforcer, the power guy. And I just think that's kind of funny. I never made that connection before. Anyway, so the build up to this was really good. The payoff was really good. It made Batista a top star in the company. So I really want this match in this mode. I would love to relive it with their cool little footage. I forget the technology they use to go back and forth between the real footage and the gameplay footage. Anyway, so those are 5 matches I would like to see added to the showcase mode. We already know about 5 of them. Check out the video I made prior to see those. Sound off in the comments below which matches I may have left out that you would like to see, but keep in mind, they might not have the rights to those wrestlers. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.